Hey folks, now me and Edward have gone back and forth about Devon Franklin and Megan Good with her fine ass. Anyway, I've always liked Megan Good. Megan Good is fine as hell. And 9 years, actually 9 years is a pretty good run in Hollywood. You get 9 years, 10 years, and I think they both kind of agreed to kind of cap it off at 9 years instead of getting into this bigger tangle. If you go over 9 years, you go into 10 years and it's for life. So it is what it is. And I think neither one of them wanted to risk paying alimony to the other. But, basically they're almost in the same business, even though they push Devon Franklin out as a pastor, as a preacher. But gotta remember, he actually started out as a movie producer. So they're basically in the same business. She's just more famous. And their net worth, she's actually worth more money than he is. So she's not really a gold digger. And I think they both pretty much said they have a prenup. And the prenup is they've agreed not to go after each other. So I think the only thing is they're going to split whatever assets they have and they're going to walk and go their separate ways. And, people keep saying that he picked wrong. Okay? that he picked wrong. Megan Good was a starlet, and Megan Good was, slept around like the average woman in the United States that's Gen X didn't sleep around. Early millennials or Gen X, they didn't sleep around a lot. Like a regular woman would have done much better, especially with the way she looks. If Megan Good was not a starlet, Megan Good would have, she'd have had a string of guys. Can't have a woman like that walking around, because Megan Good is at least an 8, probably right around a 9, walking around Hollywood or LA and not, get attached. So in that sense, I don't know what she's talking about. Megan Good would have probably been 100 Octane no matter what. What guys have to work their ways up. So is Devon a 92 Masters of the Universe, 100 Octane? I think he's more like a high 92. Film producer, worth quite a bit of money, but he doesn't have the fame to go along with it. And what Megan Good did was bring him fame, because nobody knew who Devon Franklin was before Megan Good. After Megan Good, everybody knew who he was. And he made the most of it, because I was listening to Shannon Rawls, and Shannon, he's connected. He's been connected to Hollywood, and I'm sure he probably knows Devon personally. Probably has met Megan Good on quite a few occasions, because the black Hollywood is actually not as big as people think it is. So you will run into each other. But they agreed, hey, my man made bank off of being attached to Megan Good. So I'm sure he's not mad at her. And for most guys saying that he just picked wrong and he should have got a different woman because he's a pastor and all that kind of stuff, come on, y'all. Be for real. Be for real. You get a shot at Megan Good. I don't care how square you are, how big, how educated you are. You get a shot at Megan Good with her beauty and fame, you're going to take it. And if she says yes, you're going to marry her. I don't care what her past is. Short of her making sex tapes with somebody like Future, or having a baby by somebody like Future, you're going to take her up on it. And he did, and it was worth his while. For the most part, other than her being an actress and her wearing what she's wearing, because she's going to wear what she wears, right? He's in the business. He's produced films. She's in the business. She's been in films. They know how the Hollywood game goes. And for the most part, I didn't see what she did for the 9 years they were married. I'm shocked that they were even getting divorced, because I didn't see anything wrong with the marriage, and most people didn't. She seemed like a good wife. She talked a good game. She held up the right image as far as I could see. Now, what she does as far as going about her business, because she is an actress and she is a working actress, and there's certain looks that she has to have. They all date, and they've all been seen with people. Okay, they all date, and she was young, so they do date. But compared to a whole bunch of people that are in this town, Megan Good is fairly sedate. So if you're gonna pick one from Hollywood, Black Hollywood especially, I would probably pick Megan Good like 9 times out of 10. Was I surprised that she married a pastor? With his background, no, because he did work in Hollywood. I'm more surprised that she married him than him marrying her. That's what I'm shocked at. I'm not surprised that he married her. I'm shocked that she married him, because in my opinion, it was a slight class mismatch. It wasn't that far off. He's a high 92 and she's 100 octane. It wasn't that far off. But it is still a class mismatch, because he's doing things and she's got to go make films. And that's what she does. And her schedule is busy because she's in demand. And, you know, when you're out there, you meet people. And I'm sure he has no shortage of chicks flowing towards him. So I think the biggest thing that happened in that marriage that could have happened, that didn't, was having a child. And I think that's probably what he wanted. And I don't think she wants to have a kid. That's just my opinion. I don't have any proof, but it is what it is. I think that's probably why he had to move on, because he's in his early 40s, and he's got to go ahead and, you know, knock somebody up and push out a couple kids before he's too old to actually, you know, raise the children. Now, other than that, you know, it's like I said, I'm not shocked. Okay, 9 years in Hollywood is actually a pretty good marriage, and 9 years married to a starlet. You know, she might have been a B actress, but she was still a starlet. Is actually pretty good. You know, she was 31, and she was aging out. And at that point, she had to make a choice, and she probably couldn't have landed one of those, the top tier guy, or maybe she didn't want to land a top tier guy because there's stuff you have to put up with. And so she settled for a 92. And that's really not that unusual for a starlet like her to marry a producer. Because that's a step down, but it's a small step down. And they both get out of it. They both millionaires, and they're both fairly young. Megan's probably beyond her child production years, but if she doesn't have kids, she still looks good enough to go out and get her another dude. And obviously, I suspect he's going to get a younger woman. He's going to have a couple kids. If I was him, I'd go get me somewhere right around 25-year-old. I got the cash. I am fit and wealthy enough and healthy enough to get me a younger woman, have a couple kids. And that's probably what he's going to do. He's already had the dream girl, so he doesn't have to get that anymore. And I'm sure he would have preferred to knock her up and have kids by her and keep her. I know I would, because I still look at her and shit. Well, you know what? If you notice in the picture, every time they're hugged up, he always has his hand on the same spot of her ass. I said, damn. I said, that must be soft as butter, man, because he holds her in the same spot in every picture. And I ain't mad at him, because that's probably where I hold her too. Because that is one fine bitch. And I was kind of jealous when he got married to her. I said, damn, he locked that down. That was one fine bitch. And he had her for damn near 10 years. So hey, it was a good run. He got his money's worth. Hopefully she got what she wanted out of it. And I'm sure he's not too sad about the way it ended. Hey, it is what it is. It was time to dissolve the marriage. And he filed. And so he's going out on his own terms. And people keep saying, like, well, she cucked him. It's like, how? Or she used him. How? What did she get? What really did she get out of it? Other than being with him? What really did she get out of it? She didn't make any more money. He didn't buy, he wasn't taking care of her because that wasn't necessary. She had her own money. She had her own house. She had a mansion. All she needed was a man, and she got a man. In fact, I think she helped him more than he helped her. Every time I saw them together, or we heard about them together, she was always submissive and respectful. Now, what she was like behind closed doors, I don't know. But as far as a Hollywood marriage, I think it's It's probably as good as it can get. I think people keep overdoing the Christian thing. I think people keep overdoing the Christian thing. That if she was Christian, they wouldn't have gotten divorced. Christian divorces happen all the time to regular people. Christians and Christian women and husbands and wives cheat on each other all the time. So comparing him to Russell Wilson and Ciara, the one good thing that people can point to about Ciara versus Megan Good or some of these other chicks is that, Ciara gave him 2 kids. Ciara gave him 2 kids. She's still married. She's still with him. They still doing things together. And she popped out 2 kids for him. And so as far as I can see, people can say what they want to about Russell Wilson and Ciara. Ciara looks happy as punch, man. Regardless of what we think about it, and regardless of whether you think he's a cuck or not, Ciara looks as happy as punch. And has looked as happy as punch from day one when they're together. So y'all tell me. And the way Devon was grabbing her ass, boy, on every picture, he wasn't mad about being married to Megan Good. So I don't have no complaints. I was going to say it's a class mismatch, and it is in a way because she's got more fame and she's going to be more noticed. But hell, like Russell says, when they walk in, she going to tilt the room. And he took advantage of her tilting the room because there's contacts that he made and moves that he made that he probably couldn't have made without her. Books that he sold that he probably couldn't have sold without her. And the only people are hurt is us. But like they used to say, don't believe the hype, right? Take it with a grain of salt. Anyway, that's all I got for this one. This is BGS out, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.